You looking for me, you can find me at the barbershop. Pulling up to get a cut, bumping through the parking lot. I keep it clean, Rico's where I'm running to. If you in the city, then you probably gonna be coming to. Gang getting down, Red's getting down, Nick getting down, Ron getting down, just to name a few. Everybody blade on point. You trying to get fresh, I'm telling you this the joint. Hands down, top shop up in this vicinity. Promises age 9, LaRon been getting me. Temper on the side.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knowledge of Self, K.O.S. Barber Club Podcast. With me today, I have a guest, and we're going to go and we're going to venture off into his life story. And as you guys know, we discuss a lot of personal matters and things here as far as self-concept, self-awareness, and self-knowledge. And without further ado, my boy, Salazar.
What's popping? An honor to be here. Glad to see you doing things, my boy. This is awesome.
This is great, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here, brother, because your story is an original one. So, here we discuss the collection of wisdom on the science of everything in life.
Yeah, like you're in the barbershop.
Exactly. So that we did the Barber Club podcast so we could get to the barbers get to the family, the clients, and it spreads.
Absolutely, bro. Love
and it's
is love.
mostly just knowledge of self, love, live, laugh, and love, man. I love that saying, and that's how we live, and that's what we're doing.
Let's get it, bro.
So let's start with your story, man, because you're a very special person in the sense of, like, your individuality.
Well, man, I was born here in Miami, born and raised, two Cuban parents, My dad was an incredible baseball player in Cuba, amongst other things, an incredible poet, songwriter. And my mom is, she was the gal, the young one, you know what I'm saying? And she was just a regular. She was studying to be a teacher out in Cuba before they came over here.
These were the 70s, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, my dad's about 12 years older than my mom, so my dad goes back a little further. But, yeah, I'm talking about the 70s. My parents got here in 1977, and I was born here in 79.
Nice.
Yeah, before the Mario lift and all that stuff.
Before all the stuff. So
before.
So they left early.
Yeah. The thing about them is they told me, is like when we left Cuba was still beautiful. So it was kind of hard to leave. It wasn't messed up.
Information didn't get to places as fast as it does now.
Absolutely not. So, it was hard for them. I mean, I could just imagine any person coming from a third world country having to leave all they know, all their friends, all the relationships, just
So they talk about that, right? Like in family gatherings, and they explain that.
To be honest with you, not really,
no?
man. Not really, man. My parents, when they left, bro. You know what I'm saying?
They knew what they were doing. They were.
Yeah, I mean, my dad, when Fidel had the Mario lift and he opened up the Mario, my dad went back in 81 and 80 and literally picked up my sister and my whole mom's side of the family. And literally went up to all his baseball buddies. He got my sister. He went up to my other brothers. He's like, yo, I'm leaving on this date. If you guys want to come, I got you. And he came back with pretty much the whole side of my mom's family and my sister. And that was that. He stayed there 45 days. He went over there, stayed 45 days, gathered all the troops that he could. He told all the troops, you guys want to come? You guys are welcome.
And he had people here, like a connect or anything? Or
Yeah.
So he had everything set up.
Yeah. He had boats on boats. Like, he came in one boat and my sister came in the boat behind him. Like, it was, it was real, bro. It wasn't, it was no joke. Obviously, they weren't under fire or anything like that because Fidel had lifted the Mario, but still, it was still a gutsy thing to do, in my opinion.
It was an urgency. Like,
yeah.
I can imagine that's.
Yeah.
All right, so that was the beginning of the here in Miami. So you were born what year? 79?
Yeah, 1979. I was born in Jackson Memorial Hospital. My parents lived in Hialeah. A little bit after that, my dad was incarcerated. And then it was just me and my mom for like 4 or 5 years.
And how old were you at this time?
When my dad got locked up, I was probably like 1.
Do you think that, you remember that?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, I'm about to say.
No, I don't. And then he got out when I was about 4. So, he just took it from there, I mean.
And you do remember that?
Absolutely. The day he got out, I remember. I was 4 years old. I remember everything.
What
know,
feeling did you
but
have, man?
no, before that, he used to come home on furloughs because he was in federal prison. So they used to give him furloughs, and he
So
would
you'd
come
be
home.
sad that the pops leaves.
Yeah, I went through that. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of it because remember I was so little, but I still remember a lot of it.
What feeling did you have though?
Oh, I just
Do you
couldn't
remember?
wait. I just couldn't wait till he got home.
Anxiety, maybe a little.
Oh, I still have anxiety from all that, man. You know what I'm saying? Those are scars of life. I'm not the only one though. There's people that have been through way worse, and that's what I try to tell myself, bro.
Yeah, man. Like what I'm trying to identify is like the feeling. Like okay, like I remember when I was a kid, the first time I smelled paint. That's like my first memory.
Gotcha.
Because I remember I was like, yo, what the hell is this smell? Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, yo, this smells weird.
And when you smell it again, it takes you back there, right?
Right to that room when I woke up, and I was like,
you.
because my aunt was getting married, so they were painting the crib.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, if that was that a memory that like stuck to you forever, like your first self-awareness.
Yeah, man. And bro, I just couldn't wait to do stuff with him. I was, my mom went through a whole lot when he was, locked up. We were living in an efficiency back then, which was like in like Flagler and like 40-something Avenue, which is like a cubicle, bro. And it was just me and my mom. My mom would drop me off to go work at the La Vaquita at the farm stores that they had a bunch of them. And back then they used to get held up a lot. So, she was doing what she had to do to survive, Wow. Yeah, bro. I come from struggle, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And you think that that changed your character in a sense?
To be honest with you, it just made me appreciate everything.
Self-awareness.
Yeah, it made me appreciate stuff, from where I was without both parents, with just one to having both of them. You know what I'm saying? It was, I got to appreciate all that. A lot of people don't. A lot of people grow up and they have their parents together. A lot of people don't. It all depends, but
it all depends on if
but
you're
I was,
aware of your surroundings, aware of yourself, aware of your thoughts, then you develop the knowledge of self, and then you create self-content.
Exactly, and I was fortunate enough to have both of them. A lot of people don't. They're not fortunate enough to either have one or both. So I thank God for that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of tough upbringing. It creates character.
Who's the tough one, the mom or the dad?
My mom.
She's the tough one?
Yeah, my mom.
My
dad would always throw a towel.
Yeah, he's a baseball player.
Yeah, he would always throw a towel, but my mom was, she was, remember, Cuban parents are very taboo to a lot of American stuff, like, just American culture, I mean, to them, for example, weed was horrible, and they didn't know what that was.
Nah, but I give parents props, man, because they, like, at least for me, all I had to do was grab this little machine right here, bro, and be like, here. And the kid would chill.
Yeah.
They didn't have that back in the day.
No way, bro.
The Game Boy was way after.
No way, bro. We had to. Well, we're actually the last generation that went outside. You know what I mean? So, I'm trying to instill that into my kid. My kid loves going outside. He likes being in the water. So I'm gonna try to, get as much of that as possible.
How old is he now?
He's 2 and 8 months. You know what I mean? And he, I'm just trying to create a balance, so he can go outside and, do his thing. Because remember, we used to play Nintendo and all that stuff after we were done playing, and we would go inside. We would always play first. Playing was the first. Playing outside was the
that
first
was the
thing.
last option until it became the first option. But that's when PlayStation came into the...
Yeah, no, now it's everything,
I mean, it's amazing, though.
Yeah.
You don't just play. It's an actual world.
No, and you have VR sets now. Like, it's advanced.
It's going to get crazy. Minority Report. You seen that movie?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yo, that shit is bugged out.
Yeah.
Minority Report. Whoever wants to watch that. And you're going to see the parallels of that world and this world. Very similar. Crazy.
Yeah.
Same thing with Ready Player One.
No, I got to watch those.
Yo, those movies are, like, bugged out because it's a thought of, like, what can be in the future. Kind of like when back in the days we saw Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at Back to the Future now, like, think about it. Those weird glasses that they used to wear. Like, I saw the other day at the store, I saw glasses that look exactly like that. They're all flat.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the cars, bro. I want the cars. I want the flying cars.
You want people to...
I want the flying cars, bro. That's what I was looking forward to,
I already
bro.
see a car just...
Flying cars, bro. That's what I want. I want the flying cars. I thought we'd be that advanced by now, but... No, yeah.
Well, they do. They have the flying...
Oh, remember, they came out with
trolleys.
the McFlys not too long ago. Remember the Martys that they used to strap up by themselves? That was kind of cool. You know what I mean? I think that was the beginning, but it's cool to see, like, stuff evolve, I just would like people to be outside more a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy the fresh air and stop filming themselves.
So when you were a kid, you were young, And then you had both parents. You did your thing. You already had a self-awareness, of
Yes,
course.
sir.
You remember your pops coming out. Where did you pick up as far as like in school, like the music?
To be honest with you, man, I had an uncle. He dated my aunt for about 5 years. His name was Eddie Bongo Torres. He was from the Bronx. He was a percussionist in a lot of salsa bands. And he was, like I said, he went out with my aunt, and he would take me to these huge studios, like at the age of 5, 6. And I would see live recordings. I mean, talking about, bro, the studios that I've been to. I still haven't been to a studio as big as those.
Like with full band?
Yeah, full everything. Like, bro, like full everything. You can record a whole band. You can record one. It was amazing. You know, the boards, like, 80s style. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I watched a lot of stuff. He gave me bongos to practice, and I started practicing and banging on those. And he was really my first musical influence, and he taught me a lot. You know what I'm saying? To this day, I still feel like I have a lot of him in me, because I'm producing now and stuff like that, and it's coming out.
Is he still around or what?
No, he's not around. He passed away. Yeah, he passed away a long time ago. I wasn't able to say goodbye because he separated from my aunt, and they went their own ways and stuff like that. But he was, he played with the best of them. He played with Tito Puente, Celia Cruz. He came out on TV shows out here, and he was a great guy. You know what I'm saying? So
that gave you that musical bug that you were like, yo, I want to do this.
Yeah. And then my dad, he used to play the acoustic guitar, and he would play the guitar pretty much every night, so to put me to bed, and he would sing like his own songs, that he wrote,
own little harmonies.
Yeah, and he would put me to sleep like that. So I kind of got those two influences, put them together, and then since I separated from my uncle at the time, and I kind of stepped away from the music. I didn't really get back to the music till I started listening to hip hop.
And how old were you at that time?
When I started listening to hip hop really early. I mean, my first tapes that I was given was when I was 9. I was in California, and my cousin gave me a 2 Live Crew tape, and he gave me a NWA tape, brand new. He told me, "Look, get these." So those were my first 2 influences. So just think about those 2 to put together. So I started listening to that. I would listen to a lot of hip hop, Cypress Hill. I would listen to MC Hammer. I even listened to Vanilla Ice, bro.
Because back in the day,
Vanilla Ice, when Vanilla Ice came out here, that people could talk all this shit that they want. But when Vanilla Ice came out, everybody was bumping that shit in Miami, dog. Everybody, especially because they thought that dude was from Miami, when he wasn't. But it was huge. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually I got to high school. People started freestyling around me. I had a lot of my boys that were.
What high school did you go to?
I went to 2. I went to Braddock. I got expelled from there, and then I ended up going to MacArthur, and I ended up going to West Dade Institute as well. But yeah, I went to those schools. And
middle school, you were chilled, no?
In middle school, I went to W.R. Thomas. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to all my boys from over there. You know what I'm saying? That still support me, that I still talk to now. And then that's probably the only school I was in the whole time that I didn't go, because when I was in elementary school, I went to 5 different elementary schools. I went to Coral Terrace, Joe Hall, Kendall Lakes, Coral Terrace. How do you
think that experience, you think it made you, because I know I moved around every 6 months, and that shit sucked.
Yeah, bro. I mean, my parents ended up getting divorced, so that kind of messed everything up. So I started going to a lot of places. I lived with my mom by myself, then my mom moved with my uncle, and then I was just going to a bunch of different schools. It kind of sucked, because I didn't really have any firm friends, but I did meet a lot of people from different places which was cool, because I ended up running into these people later on in life, and they ended up remembering me. So and it's like a whole different demographic of people that take you in. Oh, got it, and so it has its pros and it has its cons.
I like its purity. Yeah, its cons is that sometimes
you don't want to live like that when you're a jit. You want stability, but at the end of the day, it creates character, and that's what you want.
Correct. That's what we're talking about here, man.
Exactly.
Knowledge yourself. So that moving around and stuff did build you as you are today.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. I get along from people from everywhere.
Yeah.
I get along with. I'm from Kendall, but I get along with people from Hialeah, Carol City. Like, I just get along with people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, knowledge yourself.
Yeah, I just get along with people, and if I don't vibe with you, there's no beef. I just get away.
Not what I'm doing right now.
Exactly. I don't hate on anybody for doing what they're doing at the moment. If it's not my thing, I get away quietly. I don't really like shitting on people's parades or anything like that, or being a negative influence in any type of way. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I don't want to be negative. I want everything flowing out of me to be positive.
And when did you develop that self-awareness, that thought?
Oh, way after, bro. You know, when you're a jit and you're going through your emotions, you're not, you're searching.
Okay, yeah, let's go there. High school. Remember, you were listening to hip hop.
Yeah, I was listening to hip hop. I created a super love for hip hop. I would listen to Darnella in the hip hop shop on Thursdays, record her every Thursday. It was like a thing for me. I would actually, smoke blunts listening to that whole entire tape and then go through it the next day. I would always be with a Walkman. And then eventually one day I decided to start rapping. I decided to start freestyling, and even my boys were looking at me like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to start? Because it was very late. I was already 16. My boys have been rapping forever, and they were just like, oh, this guy's just doing it to do it, bro. He wants to be cool.
He took the risk. He took the step forward.
And then, but yeah, I would battle people all the time. When it really got good was when I went to MacArthur. When I went to MacArthur South, I would literally battle somebody different every day. Like, because I was a Chico, and when the black boys heard me rap, they were like, what the fuck? Yeah. So they would bring me somebody every day, like, battle him. And then, eventually, from being there a long time, I ended up becoming cool with the black boys. I played basketball for a little while for the school. And, I ended up staying there because I was expelled. I wasn't allowed to go to any Dade County public school at all. I ended up getting into a scuffle with a security guard. And I was grabbed by somebody. It ended up being a cop, and I ended up splacking the cop, and it was all downhill from there.
Usual Miami nights.
Mistakes, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it happened, but like I said, all these things build character, and I ended up going to MacArthur, and then I ended up staying there permanently.
Were you angry at that time? Were you kind of like lost in
I was doing a lot of stupid shit. I was skipping school. I had no idea what I was doing. I was wrecking my future, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't look at it like that because my parents tried to keep me in a bubble.
Yeah.
And then, I would go to school during the week, and then they would have these parties on the weekends, and my parents were like, yo, if you ain't with your cousin or you ain't being chaperones, you ain't going out. And it got to the point where I took it for a little while, and then I started rebelling, bro. And I'm like, you guys are not gonna let me go out. I'm gonna go skip school, and I'm gonna do what I want to do on the weekends during school.
What?
And that wasn't good.
What was your intention at the time for that? Was it more like, yo, I just want to do what I want to do? Or
I got introduced to hip hop and smoking, and
the culture.
And not only that, I was.
And then you saw Juice.
No, and not only that, I like chilling with chicks.
Yeah.
So I would skip school with chicks. I don't want to skip school with guys.
From other
No, same school. You know what I'm saying? And we would skip and chill, but it was just, struggling to find yourself, struggling to see who you want to be, and then at the end, I ended up dropping out of school because every 9 weeks in MacArthur, you would have new kids coming in from different schools thinking they were badass, trying everybody.
Damn, that
and it was like, it got to the point where my mom was coming to school every day at 12 o'clock, like either I was fighting or some shit like that.
This was what, 97, 98,
96.
96.
At 96, I dropped out. I started going to night school, and then...
You were 17 at that time.
I was 16. Yeah. And then, from then on, I tried doing a night school for a little while. That didn't work. And then my boy Los, who... was really one of my huge musical influences. He was a nasty freestyler. He started going to school to Miami-Dade Community College for music, and he studied music, and he started taking me to the MIDI lab, and that's where my music career really started. Like, that's where all the music stuff really started happening. He basically told me, shut up, don't say anything, and just soak everything that you see and hear up, At that time, Nick Fury, very, very well-known producer from the Miami hip-hop scene, was running the MIDI lab, and Miguel Pro was the assistant, rest in peace. And both of them were like, yo, you can come, I wasn't even matriculated in the school, but I was allowed to be there every day, and it was to keep me from getting into trouble.
And you weren't going to school at this time?
I wasn't going to school.
You were working?
Yeah, the streets.
And the streets.
Yeah, I was working the streets already, bro.
And chilling.
And doing what I had to do, but at the same time, I had a good influence next to me, always telling me, yo, forget the streets, let's go here, let's work on this, And he ended up getting, when you go to school for music theory and stuff like that, they always give you about 4 hours to go to the big studio and do your project. He got his 4 hours to make my first song in the big studio in the M building in Miami-Dade, and I recorded my first song there.
Still have that song?
Bro, to be honest with you, no, I don't. I have no idea where it's at. Lowe's probably had it, and we've lost a couple hard drives, and I'm sure in
one of those.
Yeah, or in his old computer, it might be. I don't know, but still, that's the first time I really went into a real studio and recorded a track. Nice.
How did that feel?
To be honest with you, I was nervous, dude. He told me I wasn't expecting him to do that. He was like, "Yo, you're gonna go make your first song, so write it."
You felt like that too when you played baseball, right? When you first started playing that.
Yeah, no, yeah, of course, because I wanted to always impress my dad, bro, because my dad's background in that was huge.
Damn, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I still play with that pressure to this day, bro. Like I don't like to make my dad's name look bad. You know what I'm saying? When I play, so I play with a lot.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, that's.
I play with a lot of weight, bro. But. Bro, you know what? It makes me who I am, bro. Pressure either bust pipes or it makes you level up.
Right.
So I look at it like an opportunity to level up.
Damn, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's either gonna bake you or it's gonna break you.
That's a good pressure though. Because as a kid, you're like you really focus.
Yeah, I mean, bro. Every time I would have to hit against these pitchers that were like. Because I wasn't big. I was a little twerp, bro. I weighed like maybe 125, 130 pounds.
Those are the pictures of you in your album, right? The last one?
Yeah, I was a little.
I told you, man, that artwork is sick.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. But yeah, I was little, man. So, I would, it's very easy for you to get intimidated, man, when you have a 6-foot pitcher that weighs almost 200 pounds pitching to you at 13 years old, and you're like, holy shit, bro, what am I going to do? But, I would fare well. I had no fear.
I think you always have that obstacle with everything. It's like you have to either step forward or go back. And you seem to always keep going forward.
You have to, because if not, I mean, I'm not a quitter, bro. Some people will tell you.
Self-awareness, man.
Yeah, I'm not a quitter.
There had to be a time in life where you were like, you know what, man, I don't care what nobody says or does.
Yeah, and then, like I said, it builds character. I mean, you're not always going to be right. You're going to make bad decisions. You're going to end up in wrong situations. We all make mistakes.
And you knew all this while you were recording with this guy? Like, you already had this in mind?
Nah, when I was just trying to, I had never written a song. I was just trying to write a song. And making it, and do it right, and not only that, I didn't want to disappoint my best friend, because he was my best friend. Los was my best friend. We grew up together, so I didn't want to, he used this 4 hours.
Pressure again.
Yeah, but it's either makes, and you know what? I fared fine, bro. I did the song, and look, bro, I've made like 500, 600 songs right here now sitting down.
I like the styles that you use. You keep it Salazar.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying?
And another thing about Los was he didn't really baby me. He would always throw me off the deep end. He's like, "You really want to do this? All right, here, do it."
No format, no nothing.
No, do it. No, it's like getting thrown in a pool with no lifesaver, not knowing how to swim. Like I said, either you step forward or you step back. Yeah. Either you take the challenge or you don't. And
you've had those all throughout your life. You had those choices.
Yeah, man.
And you developed your self-concept from your self-knowledge and the no fear factor.
You have to have no fear,
Yeah, I spoke that with Rec when he was here. He was like, yo, I'm fearful as shit, but let's go.
Like, I fear, bro, God, bro. Like, everything else,
faith is strong.
It's like I tell people all the time, like I don't believe in. Back then was different, but I don't believe in guns, bro. I believe that if you're straight with yourself and you're in a positive mind frame and you know what you're doing and you let your what you feel guide you, what you really feel guide you,
your intuition,
everything, your
intuition,
your spirit guide
from having that self-awareness, creating the self-concept, which extends to self-knowledge, and then your intuition will start tapping you and saying, hey, chill.
When I used to have straps, I used to run into problems all the time.
Manifestation.
I used to run into scuffles all the time. I used to have problems all the time.
That's how strong the mind is.
Yeah. As soon as I got rid of them shits.
Yeah, because you don't think about that.
I haven't had a problem since. Like, you know what I'm saying? I haven't had a problem since.
That's a good message, man. Because
you know what I mean?
Kids out here be acting crazy.
No, I understand. People got to have guns because the government's fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah, but that's a difference.
They're just not for me. You know what I'm saying? They're
Guns
just not for
are
me.
for
First of all, because I'm impulsive
what
as
they're
fuck.
applied to be for.
Yeah.
That's protection.
I'm impulsive, bro. So me personally, when I get pissed off, it's not good. I don't. You know what
You're
I'm saying?
Cuban, pure blood.
No, I don't. I have
like
I have
like
a
a
short
gang brat.
temper. I'm like they call me foforo, bro. I'm like a match. You know, so I can't have a gun. I'd rather punch you in the face and you'll live than have a gun. It's not
You have
gonna
to
be.
fight again.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody has the right to take anybody's life unless that person's threatening them to take their life. You know, but I mean, like I said, I haven't had a problem. You know, but the guns are needed, bro. You know, the government's fucked up. You know, like I come from my parents, not me. I come from where my parents come from, an island where they de-armed their citizens, and look at where that's at. So, you know, in a way, I know that they're needed. I'm not knocking anybody that has guns. I'm not knocking anybody that protects their family with guns. They're just not for me. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, but they're needed.
Yeah, absolutely, they're needed, and the people that have them are needed too. You know what I mean?
It just like I said, man, self-awareness. If everybody has knowledge of self and understands that everybody wants the same thing, though.
Exactly.
We all want to be chill, live, tribe life, family, love, and then have a little hiccup here and there, but that's normal.
You're gonna have hiccups, bro. You know what I'm saying? But
because that's what it is. But there's sometimes people Looney Tunes, bro. They didn't never develop the self-concept, or the self-concept they developed is something
they
that
haven't
is not
even found
up
themselves.
To,
to be honest with you, those people haven't even found themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Correct, and that's why we're here again.
Yeah.
We're here to try to help as many people out there as possible by allowing them to see into your world.
No, absolutely.
And you be like, yo, I did this. I went here. I went over here. I had this mission. I had this thought. Then I had my intuition kick in, and now I'm in a totally different trajectory.
Yeah, no, you have to,
I
bro.
did that.
It's part of life, bro. Like the name of the podcast, the more knowledge of self that you have about yourself, and it's real, bro, the better, the smoother your life's gonna go, man.
Correct.
You know, not always fights that pop up are gonna be fights for you to fight. You know, it's better sometimes to just leave it. You know, it takes like a bigger man to turn around and walk away, and I didn't know what that meant for a long time, bro. But you know, sometimes it's just better that way.
As age, man, knowledge comes with
Yeah.
age comes knowledge. If you're watching the podcast and you're younger, you get this knowledge before we had to go through what we had to go through to receive the message. You know
Absolutely. And we were outside. Half these kids nowadays, they don't like going outside, man. There's, you know, that's what I tell these kids. Go outside, bro. Experience stuff. Put your phone down. Put your phone down. Sweat a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You might see something that you've never seen before. Because
but like, I remember when things started changing, and because I didn't know the word trespassing until later in life.
Gotcha.
When I was a kid, they would allow you to go play in the park.
Yeah.
When I got older, they would come up to you and tell you, "Hey, this is private property. You can't play here." And it's been like, "Yo, we've been playing here our whole life."
Yeah.
And then it flipped, right? So when that happened, that's when I was like, "Yo, man, what's going on? It's changing. Things are getting weird." You know what I'm saying? The rules started being implemented more.
Yeah. No.
And now you go outside. Like you said, these people are crazy.
No, and they film everything.
They film everything. You get into a scrap. Somebody pulls out a gun on you.
Yeah, they film everything, and
you're playing basketball. It's in a different zone. I don't think it's the same.
No, it's not, bro.
Our upbringing, like,
no, we grew up in the Wild Wild West, bro.
But it was fun.
Of course, it was.
Now it gets way too intense.
Yeah. I mean, we have so many more places to go. Like, now those places don't even exist. Like, we used to go to the Grove. We used to go to the beach. We ain't going there no more. Like,
I've gone to the Grove. It's not the Grove no more. Now it looks like about harbor shops.
No, yeah. I mean, I go there. I might go eat a burger, you know, there with my wife every now and then, and my kid, just, you know, and it's like, I tell my wife all the time, I'm like, bro, if you only knew what went down in these streets, bro. And she looks
you
at me
remember
like,
Halloween back in the day?
Halloween's worth, bro. You couldn't even park, dude.
I had to stop
and we didn't have Ubers. We would have to take.
No, you would have to walk away from Flanagan's.
Not even Halloween. Just going there on a Thursday, bro, with the cars backed up all the way. You would just.
That was South Beach for me.
You wouldn't.
I grew up on the beach.
Yeah, but in Grove, it was the same thing on Thursday nights, bro. You would take the cars. And you would just drive around in circles, and it was the best shit in the world, bro. You know what I'm saying? People with their low riders, you know, girls trying to pick up chicks everywhere, girls walking everywhere. The clubs are coming out.
You talk about it in your lyrics.
Baja Beach Club and 609 and bro. And what was the last one that we used to go to? That was on the bottom. Oxygen.
Ooh, that used to be Chili Peppers.
Yeah, it was a little sushi place during the day, and at night they were turning into a club. Bro,
That place was intense.
Those were the days, dude. And even the beach, bro. I would go out to the beach all the time. I don't go out to the beach at all anymore. Like I don't remember the last time I went to a club.
See, what we did back then, you can't do that anymore.
Nah.
Could you imagine that?
Nah,
Could you imagine that type of bumper to bumper traffic right
no,
now?
not even that. The beach is not even for us anymore. The beach is for tourists. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even for us. It kind of gentrified us the hell out of there. And
I believe that helped us with knowledge, because I remember listening to hip hop, just cruising, and nobody really talking. Like, you would vibe and say a thing here, but mostly you observe.
yeah, you would be looking out the window.
You'd be looking at the girls, you'd be looking at the club, you'd be looking at fashion, you'd be looking at the movement, life, and then you kind of come up with like ideas and conversations. Nowadays, you look inside a car, everybody's like you said, looking at
On the phone, filming something. Yeah, bro. I personally, I mean, I'm not a filmer. I don't like filming myself doing stuff.
I don't do that no more.
I don't go out anywhere. When I go out, I don't film nothing. I enjoy it, bro. You know, it's meant for you to enjoy it. Like, my life, like, you won't see my kid on my IG, bro. In order for you to know my kid, you have to come to my house, bro.
That's dope.
You feel me?
Yeah, you're not braggadocious.
I'm not trying to show my kid to nobody.
You're like, I'm Cuban, I'm from Miami, I'm chilling.
You know, that shit
I'm too old for that shit.
Not only that, people got bad eyes, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't want people.
Damn.
People got bad eyes, bro. You know what I'm saying? If they want to look at me that way, it's all good, you know, because I'm putting myself out there, so I'm not even mad at them. But not my kid. You know what I'm saying? In order for you to know my kid, you got to come to my house and knock on my door.
And that's more like of your culture. And
yeah, you know, people don't know how to differentiate social from personal. It's not like social. It's not social media. It's personal media, because everybody puts their shit out there, and then when everything goes bad, they're sitting wondering why. And it's like, yo, you put your energy out there, you put that bad energy out there, it's gonna come right back to you, and it's gonna come back 3 times as hard as you let it out. So
yeah, but I believe they're doing it because they know of the energy that they're portraying, because that's what they want. It's like when you go fishing, you put the right bait, and then you throw it out there.
And then you got those people that want to trigger people, you know, on purpose, and see what they can do or what rise they can get out of the person. Yeah, you know, I really don't argue with anybody on social media. I use that for a promotional tool. I don't get personal. Like, I don't even talk about politics anymore. There was a point where I would, you know, when I first started getting on it, but now I don't even bother, bro.
I tell some friends, I'm like, yo, man,
if it ain't positive, I ain't putting it out there.
a lot of these things happen and occur in a lot of other countries. A lot of things that happen, we don't know what's happening in other countries. We only know what they feed us.
Of course.
So you're kind of trying to compare, and you're trying to act like you know. And I always say in this podcast, though, all I know is that we don't know. Like, that is something I know. Like, if you talk to a physicist, they have a lot of ideas, and they might be able to tell you, yo, this is like this, or it matters like this.
Yeah.
And then you talk to scientists, they'll tell you something else. You talk to religious people, they tell you something else.
Yeah.
It's up to you to have knowledge yourself and be able to be like, okay, nobody really knows.
No.
Everybody has an idea, educated guess, whatever you want to call it.
It's up to you to fill in the blanks, bro.
Exactly. But I don't think it's outside. It's in.
Yeah.
You got to understand, okay, this is what I feel. And I understand that I'm programmed to think this way. But I don't want to feel like this anymore. So I got to find a way other than their opinion or professional opinion. Because I know that what I have experienced in life has led me to believe that I could fix myself.
No, absolutely, bro. Like, bro, a change can happen from one day to the other, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, to be honest with you, when I stopped eating shit was when my dad told me, because I was wild, bro.
Eating shit, but I believe that was important.
Yeah,
that part.
Yeah,
like you said, we outside.
Yeah, I was wild, bro, and him telling me, look, bro, it's easier to be good than bad. He's like, there's always going to be somebody badder than you. You're going to have to work so hard to be bad because there's so many bad people out there, bro. Be good is so much easier. Bro, and it's like, that really resonated with me, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it makes all the sense.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, I started figuring out what I really liked and what I didn't like, and I just implemented it to my life, bro.
Knowledge of self-concept,
You know?
self-awareness, self-knowledge.
I don't really roll with cliques. I've always been a solo writer, bro. My dad always taught me.
That's the best way.
Yeah, my dad always taught me.
That's the best way.
To do everything by myself. Don't roll in cliques.
I mean, you your friends.
No,
and
yeah, I have
family
friends, pero esa pandillería
what are you
and
doing? What are you
grupo
doing?
and all that shit, bro.
That was back in the days.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't do that, bro. Like I have my boys that come to the crib, of course. A lot of my boys are artists, music artists. They come to my crib, you know, they chill, like, you know what I'm saying? It's all love. But I'm just, for me, like
You're always developing, building,
yeah.
creating.
Not only that, like it doesn't give you, like, it gives me more of a chance to center myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? When things not going right, you know what I'm saying? I gotta sit down and evaluate the situation, and it's better for me to do that because there's less things in play. There's less distractions. There's just less of everything. You know, and it allows me to think. You know,
When you think, when you have a thought or a response to a question, maybe that you thought, I talk about this all the time though. Like, that's not your voice that you're listening to, like your intuition. To me, that's like a higher being or something, because I'm like, dude, the voice I hear in my head is not the voice that I've heard when you record my voice.
bro. You know what I tell people, and that's why I tell people all the time. Everybody knows the difference between right and wrong. You don't have to be taught that, though.
You feel it.
Exactly. When
I
you're
felt
doing,
that when I was a kid and I stole something.
you felt it, right?
I
right
felt
away.
that. I was like, yo, what the fuck is that?
That's exactly why I don't believe in people when they say, "Oh, I didn't mean to do it." Like, nah, bro. Like, you know exactly what the fuck it was that you were doing. You felt that inside of you, and you went and did it anyways. You know, and I'm guilty of that. We all are.
Yeah, I feel those people are preoccupied thinking of
Yeah,
something.
we've all done it.
I'm
I'm not sitting here like I'm the only person I've done it before. That's why I'm telling you, because I've had that feeling. And went and grabbed something from the store and put it in my pocket anyways, or did some stupid shit and got in trouble.
And what always happens with that the easier it came, the easier it went away.
Exactly, bro. So, you know, you have that in you. You don't have to be taught that. You know what I mean? We all come from positive light and positive energy.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like, and it's just up to you, you know, what do you want to become? You know what I mean? I got to that point when, you know, I was like, you know what, bro? I figured out that I wanted to be an artist. I figured out that I wanted to be in music, and I wanted to be on the street all the time. Like the street was my thing. You know what I mean? And with what I was doing, it coincided. You know, the street.
Yeah, you were with the people.
Yeah, and it you know, I was able to make a name for myself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not the best rapper in the world, but I do have a name for myself. I got my own brand, which is Soy Trapero. You know, Chico Mob. I make my own shirts. Like now, like, you know, I try to do as much as possible. I try to learn whatever I can from whoever is willing to teach me. Before, maybe when I was younger, I wouldn't be enticed to that because I was too immature.
That's the key right there, man.
You know what I'm saying? So you change. You know what I'm saying?
You have to change or evolve, I would say.
And it's okay, bro. You know, we've all done dumb shit. Like, I'm not sitting here like an angel, bro. I've done a lot of bad shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But everybody has their own story. Bro.
But I reflected on it. You know what I'm saying? That's not who I was. You know what I mean? I made some bad decisions, and it was only up to me.
Well, that's who you was,
to change
but it wasn't who you wanted to be.
Yeah, and it was up to me to change
you
it.
Adjusted.
You know?
You put some Sazon Goya in that mix, and you created Salazar.
Yeah, bro. So, you know, then after I went to Miami-Dade, we finished the whole thing with Miami-Dade, and my producer ended up going his own way. He ended up having his own studio, making beats. I started one day, coincidentally, I was on Little Tipsy. I started writing Spanish rhymes.
That's what I like, man.
Yeah, I started writing.
Mix it.
Yeah, I started writing Spanish rhymes, and I did a couple songs that Los had given me a couple beats to, and I spit them to him. And he's like, "Look, you need to stop rapping in English. You need to do this." You know, and I was like, okay. So I started doing that. I have maybe like 3 or 4 songs. Sony Latino came knocking on the door looking for production, and you know, him being my producer, he was like, "Look, I got an artist," you know, because they were looking for beats for a Spanish album, like a Spanish hip hop album.
Okay.
So of course he was like, "Look, I have an artist. You know, you mind listening to him or whatever?" And they're like, you know, they listened to it, and they really didn't know what to make of it. They were like, "Look, can we take this back to the label and you know, give you an answer in a couple days?"
But this is work that you already had done?
Yeah. Well, okay. I was only like 3 or 4 songs in. I had just started. What
year was this?
I would say 2001.
Okay, so you were like 21, 22 years old.
And they came back the next week and they were like, "Look, we want to sign him." You know, and That's how I got my audition deal. It was an audition deal. I signed through AOD, which is our production company. I signed through them, and I signed directly to the label. And it was a compilation album with 7 artists. Each artist got 2 songs. Probably a good 40-50% of those artists I still talk to.
Yeah.
We did the record. It came out. We dropped it. It was called Sindicato. Probably like a year down the line, they offered me something on the solo tip. I didn't take it. I turned it down, and then I asked for my release. And then after that,
Why did you not take the deal?
it was like $40,000.
And you were like, nah.
I mean, back then you couldn't even shoot. You couldn't shoot a video with $40,000. So what am I gonna do? You're gonna tie me down for 3 years.
So
I can't
it was
even
a 3-album deal, or
no, because that not a 3-album deal, but it's gonna take time for me to get released.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Shelf.
You know, not only that, if I can't produce the album with those $40,000, they're gonna fuck me, and that's a trap. Oh, here's 40 grand, bro. With 40 grand, I couldn't even produce the album back then, bro.
Okay.
So I would have used all my money producing the album, and then I would have had no money for the video, no money for promo.
Negotiate with them at all?
No, they offered me that shit, and I was like, "Go fly a kite, go get the fuck out of here, bro." They tried to get me to switch on my producer, and then, shit like
Probably
that.
wanted you to write.
And my manager too at the time. They were like, "Oh, he sucks," which they were right about. That they were right about, but I didn't take it, and I had an independent label at the time called Strictly Business Records, really interested in me joining them.
Okay.
So they kind of helped out and me getting released from Sony, and then I jumped onto their independent label for about a year and a half, and then I just ended up saying fuck it, and ended up opening up my own shit.
Nice.
And then I dropped my first mixtape, and then everything just opened up from there. And one of our artists, Quote 7, ended up bringing Mexicano 777, which is probably one of the best Puerto Rican rappers in the history of Puerto Rican rap, hip hop period. He ended up coming to the studio, and bro, from there we just took off, bro. And then after that, probably like around 2008, I had to shut the studio down, and then I just kept making music. My dad ended up falling. He ended up getting banged up. I ended up having to stop making music for a little bit to attend to that. Once I got done with that, I got back on again, and I came out with
when that happened, were you thinking like, yo, man, I don't want to do this no more? This shit's getting hectic.
I was still young, to be honest with you. I was stressed the fuck out because I was dealing with my dad's. My dad had fell at work. Workman's comp didn't want to pay him because they thought he was faking the injury, and they didn't give him a check for like 9 months. So he became my son for like a year. So I really didn't have money to do shit.
Parents were still separated, right?
Yeah. I was still writing and stuff because I was going through so much stuff at the time that I always kept writing, and I always try to keep the short sharpened. But as much as being out there and doing what I've been doing for the past X amount of years, I wasn't able to because I had to be there for my father. Once that we got everything back to normal, I ended up coming up with Soy Trapero. In Hubie Studio. I went to Urban Union and I ended up doing a track with Hubie and Chief. Shouts out to them. And that shit smacked me in the face. I got the idea with the hat, Soy Trapero, shit, that's a line. Everything just hit me in the face in that studio, and I'm like,
you think that's the intuition again kicking in?
Bro, I ran with it.
Yeah.
Like, I literally, from one morning to the other, like, I was writing with Chief in the studio, and Chief was telling me, he kept repeating, Soy Trapero, and I was like, and I was just like, bro, I kind of like a vision just went. So I was like, you know what? This is the song. I'm going to do this. I'm making shirts. I'm making hats. This is the brand. Everything. Like, from one moment to the other. Like,
Again, you took that step.
Yeah. And I invested in myself, which, don't be afraid to invest yourself is one of the things that I can tell you as the best advice. A lot of people make music out there and they're allergic to invest in themselves. They'll pay for the beat. They'll pay to make the music, drop the record, and they don't promote it. What you're doing, I have no idea. Like,
yeah, man, you have to develop yourself.
If you're gonna
you're gonna invest
yeah,
in yourself.
Yeah, if you're gonna spend $300 making the record, at least have another $300 to promote the record, just to match those $300 that you.
But a lot of these guys spent all their money getting the clothes to be on the video, looking like they have them.
At the end of the day, you know what? If it was back in the day, it was quality over quantity back in the day. You know what I'm saying? In the 90s.
Lyrics,
it's not quantity. It's not quality over quantity anymore, bro. It's quantity over quality now. Because people want to see you every day. You can't shoot a music video every day.
Yeah, but that's the algorithm thing, man.
Yeah, but that's the game. Unfortunately, that's why you got all these people all the time. Oh, look at what I'm doing. They got 1,000 followers, or gazillion followers, but they're living in their mom's house.
Yeah, man, that's the way it is.
You know, so what are you influencing? Living from your mom's house. You know what I'm saying? I like to influence through my music, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to sit there and act like I'm the shit and my life's going the greatest that it's ever been.
You're living your dad life, family life, and then you throw your bars.
And if you don't do it the way I'm doing it, then it's not going to go good for you. I don't do that, bro. Everybody's way is different. You know what I mean? I'm not knocking the person that gets up every morning and does a video.
It's good that you think like it because that's why you have your sound. I told you in the beginning, like the Salazar sound. Like you hear it, and as soon as you start the first 2 bars, I'm like, all right, I already know that.
And that's what I want. I'd rather have that than to be labeled the best. I'd rather be original than to be unoriginal.
That's what it's about.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't sound like anybody, so that's one main thing. And I don't try to sound the same on every track. I try to sound different on every track.
Me as a musicalist, I appreciate it. I've always told you,
Thank you, bro.
That flow is because you throw the Spanish flow, but you keep it with the hip hop. Yeah. Well, would you say like original cadence?
The difference is that I grew up listening to American hip hop.
Yeah. So
I'm in the pocket, American style, in the Spanish game, which is why I think I'm separated from everybody else, because I really didn't listen to any Spanish hip hop at all. I had no influence. I just picked up a pen and started writing that shit.
The only person that I've heard do that, like back in the days, was Tego. He would throw a little English verse, and then he'll go Spanish, you know?
Eventually, after I started writing, I ran into Tego's music, which I thought was fire.
Yeah.
Especially his hip-hop stuff. Even his reggaeton stuff. I'm not really a reggaeton head, but I like his reggaeton shit. Like the way he raps and the way he rides the beats in his reggaeton. And then I met Mexicano. And that dude sat me down and gave me classes. Like, yo, you know, and what I got from him was, you know, we grew up with this whole, singing for pussies and blah, 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 blah.
Melodies, man.
Yeah, but when you're coming up, you're like skeptical on trying new shit, and he really took that skeptical shit right out of me, nigga. If you want to sing, you sing. If you want to do this, you do this. If you want to do 3 voices in one, I don't care. And he did it in front of me. Like, this guy would record a Spanish.
He showed you a different way.
Yeah, he would record a Spanish hip hop banger. He would record 3 or 4 tracks a night, and then he would do a reggae song with Chris Isaacs playing and singing that had nothing to do with rap. And I would sit there and look at this guy, so like,
he'll grab that melody or that energy and then
shift it to something else, bro. That guy had like 20 different. Yeah, he had like 20 different voices. This dude was incredible, bro. Rest in peace, bro. Like, he was, he
helped you develop that self-concept.
He taught, bro. He taught me to stop torturing myself artistically, bro.
You were trying to be too perfect.
No, I was trying to not do stuff because I thought I was afraid of what other people might think.
There you go, message.
You know what I'm saying?
What
like,
people think is what you feel.
Yeah, he's like, forget about that. You think people, he's like, bro, I was in jail for this amount of time and I do whatever I want on the mic. You think somebody's gonna come and tell me I'm a pussy? Like, and I looked at him like, he has a point.
I mean, yeah, he's a man.
You know, if he's an instrument.
He has self-knowledge.
He was an instrument, and he's like, you're an instrument, dude. He's like, forget about what anybody thinks. Differentiate yourself from everybody. Original. So he taught me that, and that's when I really I started evolutionizing and started adding different things to my game, and then it ended up, I ended up starting to. I got on this thing that I wanted to write songs for other people, and I started recording demos for those people to do the songs I was writing. And as I started doing them, this demo started coming out dope.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what, bro, let me try to do a track like this.
And then which was the track, the first one?
Bro, I have a bunch of them, bro. I have a bunch of them. I have a bunch of them that I sing them. I haven't really released any of those tracks, bro. I have so many tracks that I have to release. I haven't released them. But I started doing tracks singing. And they started coming out dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I started evolutionizing as an artist, and I stopped being afraid of being myself, because that's what this society does. It makes you afraid to be yourself.
They try to give you like a guide to how to be, or
you know what I'm saying? And you're always
it's all lies and propaganda.
And if you think about it, in life, you're always being told how to dress, how to do everything. You don't come up with the style of clothes that you're wearing. Adidas came out with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To the style of the car that you drive, everything is programmed for you. You know what I mean? So it's good for you to evolutionize and get out of that spectrum. You know what I'm saying?
Get out of
get out of that.
You know, trust your intuition and know what you want.
Yeah, because you're gonna keep yourself in a bubble and you're gonna become your worst enemy yourself.
You become like you design yourself, right? So if you want to be a certain artist, you gotta understand what it is you like, what it is you could do, develop self-concept, self-awareness, and go with it.
Yeah,
that's exactly what you did. But you had influences, man, and those influences helped you understand the developmental stage of Salazar.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't have that. Or they do and they can't acknowledge it.
You know, you gotta just find it, bro. You know, and you know, if you're around a certain group of people that make you feel like you're in a bubble and you can't express yourself or whatever, get away from those people, bro. If you gotta be alone for a certain time,
being alone
is one of the best things that you can do, bro. Like
I was in San Antonio, man, and my girl was in a.
I love the video. I love the video that you shot walking down the street. Like, yo, I'm in San Antonio. I know exactly. I remember exactly the time because I saw it when you did it on social media.
Yeah, man.
Let's get it. You were like, hey, I'm gonna go explore. Like, and that's good, bro. Like, I think a lot of people need to do that. Besides exploring out there, they need to do a lot of self-exploring.
Yeah, you know what I did? I listened to music. I look at the art. Bro, I ran into like all different types of monuments, and I was like, oh wow. I ran into the first Catholic church, Spaniard Catholic church in the United States.
There you go. Something that you wouldn't have experienced if you would have just said, I'm out. I'm gonna go do this.
You know what I found weird? Like, you know when you walk and you start seeing like homeless or street people,
right?
You start seeing a lot of them. You would see like a Camila's house and everything.
Right.
No, you walk, and when you get through them, that's where you see the church. So they're all like around the church area.
That's crazy.
And I was kind of thinking like, damn, this is crazy. I wonder if it was like this back in those days.
Well, at least I don't throw them out of there because over here you can't do that.
It's a big open space.
Over here, your bum walks
same
to a church.
Same thing like in Bayside, like that.
That's nice.
And you walk in there and it's bugged out. Like, I looked at everything. I was like, damn, this is from the early, you know, like 1600s. So you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, bro.
And it's all, like, the architecture and everything is, like, amazing. So that helped me understand more about history of the U.S. And then that gave me more self-knowledge, understanding. Okay, cool. Then I started studying all that. And that brought me into more history, and I kept going down the rabbit hole, and I was like, wow, though.
Yeah, man, because you open the door.
But if I would have never had done that walk.
Of course, bro.
If I would have been with my boys and we just go to the bar and get wasted, I would have never learned that.
Not only that, or been on your phone or been on the computer doing something or not, you know, not being outside. You know what I'm saying?
I also find out that we're spoiled out here, bro. Because walking around San Antonio, there's nothing out there.
No, yeah, absolutely, bro. Like,
knowledge of self. Like, you got to understand your surroundings too, man. If you're a person that, like, wants to develop and get to another level, you got to open your eyes to the world, man.
Yeah, bro. Don't be ignorant. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, like, if something makes you feel uncomfortable, get away from it. You know?
So you doing all that, you developed the sound, you created your self-concept, self-awareness, self-knowledge. You're married.
Yeah.
You have a 2-year-old.
Yes, sir.
So where do you stand now as, like, an artist, as a man, and as a father?
Well, I'm a full-time father. I'm with my boy every day. My wife, you know, she has a 9 to 5, so I gotta be with him there every day. And I have my nights that I go to the studio and I still do my thing, bro. You know, I go out on the weekends. You know, I play my ball. You know, it's you know, I just, you know, obviously I gotta put my son first. My son comes first. You know, before it was music. Now it's my son and my you know, my family. So you know, I just try to balance it. It doesn't do anything for me. Like, when I want to write, I write. You know, when I want to make a beat, I make a beat. You know, I just have a lot less time to do it, you know.
I see there's a project coming out now, the one that you're promoting.
I have actually dropped another little snippet today. I actually am dropping this. It's actually a fusion of hip-hop and reggaeton. The single's called Huela Calle. It's produced by the Old Heads. It's a combination of two guys, a DJ and a producer, that they make really, really dope stuff. And shouts out to them. And yeah, bro, this is a song that goes from hip hop and infuses into reggaeton. So I really like it.
The beat or just the verses?
The beat. Yeah, the
and
beat.
Everybody raps their style.
You know, and no, it's just me.
It's just you.
It's just me.
They're producing.
They're producing. Yeah, it's just me.
Oh.
And yeah, I'm also working on a project, a Southern Grammar project, which is me, Key Swagger, and Gold. We've been, I've been rocking with Gold since I met Gold in Miami-Dade Community College when he was going to school with Los, and he goes back with me from there.
But you never went to Miami-Dade. You just went.
I wasn't matriculated. I was, thank rest in peace to Pro and shout out to Nick Fury for letting me be in there because I was a knucklehead, to keep me out of trouble, and that's how I was in there. I met so many people in there.
That's dope.
That I know today. Like so many MCs. I met North, Agony in there.
So they had this set up as like an actual studio, right?
It's a MIDI lab.
Wow.
It was a room with a bunch of computers where kids go and
they make their beats
they
and
make
stuff,
their
they
beats
record,
and
then they have the booth.
and they will get time sometimes to go in there and do their projects and stuff like that. Then across you had another studio. And then you had the big studio, which was the M building, which was the studio I told you about where I recorded my first song at. So I met a lot of boys in there, man. You know what I mean? That I still talk to today. And we have a group called Common Ground. It's called CG. It's a lot of us from that era. You know what I mean? I was the baby out of there. I was pretty much the last one to come out of that community college. We call it the MIDI Lab gang. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of dope producers and a lot of dope artists came out of there. Mike Ripple was another one that will be out there repping.
And you're working with them still? You have connections?
Oh yeah, we still see each other all the time. I mean, we all have families, but North throws the brewery once a month for local artists to come and rock. He's contributing to the culture.
The Lincoln's Beer.
Yeah, Lincoln's Beer.
I've gone. It's dope.
One Saturday out of the month. So they're doing their thing. Agony's still rocking the mic. Nick Fury's still producing. So everybody's doing their thing. We're together, but just not as much as before because we all got families. And we don't have as much time. But bro, it's all love. Wherever we see each other, it's
So now that we know the developmental stages, how you develop the self-concept. Now you're actual recording. Now you're making tracks with producers, different sound. Where you're at now, artistically, what would you tell yourself 20 years ago? Like, what advice would you give that guy?
Exactly what I just told you. Stop hindering yourself and stop being your worst enemy. Because if I would have actually had, the want to try to make a beat 20 years ago, and the want to do what I'm doing now, I could have.
How do you think they could get the want? Or how'd you get the want?
I was spoiled. I had my producer was Trick Daddy's engineer. He has placements with Trick Daddy, Lil Wayne. Like, that guy's beats were fire. I felt like I had no necessity to even dabble in that. And that's that's myself being my worst enemy. Why would I think like that?
Yeah, you're not using your time to the best.
Exactly. You're not, you know what I mean? Now I am, I had to evolve to this, I had to evolve to this. And it all happened. A lot of it happens because of the influences I had. Like Los, if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be making beats. You know what I'm saying?
So it's like you said, who you surround yourself with.
Yeah, it's very important.
Your circle is very
They
important.
may not be around you forever, but it's very important, bro.
I always do this. If I'm somewhere and I look around and nobody is in the circle that can be, like you said, influential, or it could be like a person that might not influence you, but has something to like share. If you're with a bunch of people that are just hanging out, doing nothing, talking shit, wasting time.
Exactly. And now, what I love is the fact that I can make a song from scratch. I don't need anybody.
That's dope.
Like, I make the beat, and right while I'm making the beat, I'm already getting the cadences for the hook. I'm getting the cadences for the verses. And that's another thing that evolved me as an artist. The beat started talking to me. Like, I don't know if you understand, but the beat started talking to me. And that's when I really think I changed. I already have, like, before I used to write, I wouldn't have anything. I always put the beat on and I would start writing. Now, before I start writing, I already have mapped out.
Evolving, man. You're
exactly.
Evolving.
I'm unlocking, parts of the brain,
Matrix, yeah.
And I'm trying to keep unlocking parts of the brain. I'm never satisfied with where I'm at. I am now even making EDM beats, and I'm making house beats, and I'm making a bunch of stuff that I would have never thought 20 years ago, like you told me right now, I would have been making.
Yeah. So what's next, bro? Now that you have this new insight and
to be honest with you, eventually I'm gonna hit the dance scene, because I really like making dance music. I grew up with that here. in Miami, like, the raves were huge in the late 90s, like The Edge, fucking Kit Kat. Yeah, bro. I used to go to all that
Iguanas,
shit.
no.
I used to even go to the rave Candyland all the way out there in
the
Woolbright.
Grand Prix.
All the way. No, that was Grand Prix. Those were the raves in Grand Prix. No, this one I'm talking about, Candyland, is one that happens by Christmas every year in December.
Okay.
And they used to be out there in Broward. I even think maybe even West Palm. It was called Woolbright. I remember going out there.
That's a little too far for me. I never had to go there.
And I remember going out there and seeing the best dancers. I remember going out there and seeing DJ Craze fucking tear it up.
Crazy's the man. Yeah. I went to the barn parties with Crazy back in the day.
He was from my neighborhood. So I was chilling with Craze when I was 15 years old, bro.
Shout out to Crazy.
Yeah, shout out to Crazy. You know what I'm saying? I would go to his crib and I would ask him, like, yo, make me a tape, dude. And I'll be like,
You'll make you a tape?
He will make me my own personal tape.
Yo, people that don't know, Crazy is like, what, 3-time world champion?
Yeah, and his room was a bed with crates. You had no space to sit unless it was at the edge of his bed. And you literally had like maybe 2 feet in front of you where he was at, and he was just, bro, I would watch him do the Spider-Man routine making my tape, bro. That guy was so dope.
He's still dope, man.
Yeah, no,
every time I see him, I let him.
Whenever I can, I try and see him. You know what I'm saying? And then if I have,
always doing something, man, making moves.
I actually had a track that I made, a drum and bass track. You know what I'm saying? I don't really make drum and bass, but he does, and he spins it a lot. So I sent it to him to see what he thought about it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I still talk to him. I still try to see him whenever I can. I still have his tapes from Braddock. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the clean tapes he used to make from Braddock.
I gotta holler at you. I gotta make copies.
I have the first volume. I have half of the second volume, and the third one I don't have.
Do you have a tape player?
No, I have them in CD. Like I got it. I got DJ Triple X. Shout out to him, Fabian. He had a little tape to CD thing, and I put it all on a CD, and then
What'd
put it
you do with the tapes?
I don't even know.
Damn.
Because they were messed up.
I did.
You know, when they're trying to revert.
You did the same thing I did. What I did, I was just like, I got CDs now.
But he's my favorite DJ. My favorite DJ of all time, even though he doesn't spin hip hop anymore, but my favorite DJ of all time is him. Because
when he does the jams, the booty jams,
and I would find out about a lot of artists I didn't know about through his mixtapes.
That's right.
You know, and he would do these blends where he would get the verse, the acapellas and put it on another beat. He would do that so freaking good, bro. So it's like, you know, like I had this, and even then I wasn't even rapping yet. Even then, back then I was still trying to find myself as a rapper. I didn't rap, but I loved hip hop so bad. I would go and tell
hip hop,
Crazy, yo, here's $20. Back then, and me like, yo, he'll be like, okay, what artist are you on? I'm like, yo, you go ham. I don't care. He's like, all right.
Yeah, that's the best. And he'll hook you up.
He would do it, bro.
Those were the good old days.
Yeah, man. And now I make my own beats. It's I would have never thought 20 years ago, but it's all, it's all self-awareness. Like you said, knowledge of self to become who you really are. Like maybe society, maybe not this generation, but our generation was very, very like, oh, you're a pussy. Oh, if you do this. Now,
you would say?
Yeah, now if you say that to somebody, you're a dick. It's all cancel culture. Oh my God.
Yeah, people got sensitive.
People got sensitive.
But
back then.
I always appreciate the truth. Like if you're telling me whatever, yo, you're an asshole.
I ain't sensitive, bro. I'd rather you tell me, hey, because that's where I come from. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you.
If you do that now to people, you're insensitive.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a dick, like you said.
But back then there was, it was like, but now, it's a lot easier for somebody to want to do that. But from our generation, it wasn't, because it was like, we're from the generation of smoking cigarettes, drinking beer. If you can't take a shot, you're a pussy. Grow some hair on your chest. That's where we come from. You know what I'm saying? So
smoking or non-smoking?
Yeah. So when you come from that, it's kind of hinder you a little bit. But you gotta say sometimes.
I like it, man. I wouldn't change nothing.
Yeah, you gotta say fuck that shit, bro, and you gotta become yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people walking around that never become themselves because they're too busy trying to satisfy.
They're too busy giving advice to everybody,
and they're too busy trying to satisfy everybody around them. Like
it's difficult as a job.
You can't do that, bro.
You lose yourself.
Yeah, you can't do that. So then you don't know who you are, and you're in your fucking 50s.
That's sad.
That's terrible.
That's not good.
So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come into this podcast and talk about this is, bro, be yourself. Who gives a fuck what anybody else thinks? We're all going to the same place when we die, whether we're billionaires or whether we're fucking under a bridge, bro. You know what I'm saying? And Another thing of advice that I can give people is start saying yes a lot more to situations you would say no to.
Or like the Jim Carrey flick.
Yeah,
Yes, man.
Yeah, because it's like you say no because you've had past experiences but you get on a rule of saying no so much, you start blocking yourself from blessings. You feel me?
Man. I mean, when you speak,
Yeah,
it's powerful.
Yeah, you stop blocking yourself from blessings. So, bro, go out there. If you have a bad feeling, that's a different story. That's a different story. But if you're just saying no to say no because you don't feel like it or because you feel like it's gonna be the same thing that it was last time, or stop doing that. Because you might meet someone,
Make a connect.
Yeah, something's gonna happen.
You might meet your future ex-wife.
Yeah, man. And if you're a good person, God's always looking at you. But if you don't go out, God ain't gonna bring the life to the front door or your step. You gotta go out and find it.
I mean, it's an energy thing. Everybody has an energy. You want to interact with humans and feel the energy, create a vibe, be in a vibe, know your vibe, know your tribe, do what you got to do, and sometimes you never know, man. Like, I've gone out sometimes that I'm like, damn, I don't want to go out. But I've gone out and I had a good time.
Yeah.
And I've seen or heard or learned something that I didn't know before. So it's awesome.
And that you wouldn't know if you didn't go out. So
that happened to me when I saw Outkast at, what's the club in Washington? Cameo.
Okay.
I wasn't going to go out that night. And all of a sudden we look up and it says Outkast. We're like, what the fuck?
There you go.
We went in.
And it was the best, wasn't it?
Yeah, because back in those days, we didn't have... We were kids. We didn't have...
You would actually enjoy everything. Everybody's too busy filming everything right now, bro.
It was great. It was a great time. And Dougie Fresh was out there, too, and they did their thing. And it was a good thing. But, yeah, like to what you said, you got to go out there, take risks, do your thing.
Yeah, just live.
That's what you would tell that 20-year-old self.
Yeah, just live, bro. And if something don't feel right, don't do it.
All right, bet. So this is what I always ask everybody at the end of the podcast. I've been asking, you seen the movie with... Bronx Tale?
Absolutely.
When Sonny, Colosio asked Sonny, like, would you rather be feared or loved? What do you feel about that scene or that saying?
Would I rather be loved?
Loved?
Than feared.
Yeah, because he said, can you have both? And remember, he said, that's very different.
Because let me tell you why.
Well, you just said earlier.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you another reason why. Being feared, you're going to die alone.
That's a good one.
You feel me? You're going to die alone, bro. Being loved, you're not going to die alone, and you're going to be loved even after the fact.
And that what's important, knowledge of self,
and
understanding.
those same people that love you will keep your spirit alive for that much longer. You know what I'm saying?
You seen the movie Coco?
No, I haven't.
Show it to your kid. It's exactly what you're talking about. It's like the culture, the Mexican culture, how they Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah. That
if you remember them and you put their picture up and everybody remembers them, in the past life, they are able to come and celebrate with.
Absolutely, bro. I'm a firm believer in spirit guides and the spirit.
Watch it with your son.
And I'm
very
big on spirituality, bro. So I'm 100% on board with you on that, bro.
And then the other thing that I ask is, okay, what do you think is more important, perception or reality?
To be honest with you, reality, bro. You can perceive something and it's not going to be that. What you perceive doesn't necessarily mean it's right.
Or it's reality.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Not saying perception won't help you in certain situations. I'm not saying that. But the reality, what you perceive might not even be real.
Which is where we're stuck in now.
Exactly.
The perception of artists, candidates for like government, like, yo, this is crazy to me. The things that are going on nowadays.
Well, you said at the beginning,
make no sense.
At the beginning of the podcast, you said that everybody wants the same thing. I don't really like to get into politics, and I'm not. But that's what politics does. It separates and segregates the people. Because what happens when you give people a choice?
Yeah, you
go right, go left.
Right. And if you don't make the right choice, you're not doing the right thing. Which is like, what are you talking about?
The day that these people finally realize that
they're not going to realize
these politicians' kids go to school together, that these people party together, and that the politics in general is like WWE, where they hate each other on TV, but behind closed doors,
they're like, yo,
they're giving each other dabs. Their kids go to school.
This money to this guy.
Their kids go to school together. Their kids are experimenting with drugs together. Yeah. So what are we, as the people, fighting about? Over them? Don't fight over them.
I don't think people know, man. That's why we're here, man, to let people know, yo, knowledge yourself, listen to your intuition.
Enlightenment, man. You know,
Enlighten yourself, open yourself up, go outside, stay off the phone, you know, live, love, laugh, and do the best that you can as being the person that you are.
Thanks for having me, bro. I really
No
appreciate
problem,
being
bro.
here.
Let everybody know where to find you,
Yes.
your handles, and what's coming up next.
All my handles are Salazar 305, except for IG. IG's Tabaquero 305, but everything else is Salazar 305. You can catch my YouTube, IG, TikTok. I got everything. You can go to my link tree. Check out my videos. Check out my music. I'm a Spanglish MC. I try to keep it as real as possible, and I bring that Cuban flavor and with the American hip hop mixed with it, and just try to do the best that I can, man. I got my own brand. Try to go ahead
Soy
and check.
Trapero. I gotta get that hat.
Go
I
to
want one of those
Soy
hats.
Tabaquero, you know what I'm saying? That's my other brand page. If you want to get some gear, just DM me. I'll get it to you. And nah, man, love. It's all love.
Salazar, thank you, brother. I appreciate you for coming. That's my dog. Check out Salazar, man. That Latin, Cuban, Miami flavor.
You already know,
All right?
man.
Like I said, live, laugh, love. We out.
Peace.
Peace. Ugh.